Howdy, people. Yeah, welcome once again. On we go with World Cup previews. A look at these teams, just checking out what they're like and what I think of them, how much of a chance they have, whether it's a big chance or a little chance. And I suppose, and this is with particular interest to Bangladesh, who I'm doing now, whether they can improve on the things they've done in World Cups past. Um, Bangladesh, I won't say they're in turmoil, but you never like to see a team sort of air its laundry, dirty laundry, out in public, you know? The spat between, I suppose I can't really call it a spat. I suppose really it's a case of someone says this and the next person says that to sort of rebut or disagree with what they've said. And it's a couple of the stars of the Bangladesh side. Tamim Iqbal retired, then was unretired, and then went had to come back and play, was happy to, said he was asked to come back and all of that. And then squad is picked and he's not there. That's a bit bizarre, a bit peculiar, because you'd expect that the request for sort of unretiring the guy would have been with a view to one last hurrah at a World Cup and keeping the big four, I guess, together to try and go at that World Cup and do decently. And the big four are Shakib Al Hasan, Mushfiqur Rahim, Tamim Iqbal, and Mahmadullah Riyad. Yeah, those would be the four guys you'd say are the main guys, been around for a long time, would have one last hurrah. You don't expect any of those guys in a next World Cup because they're sort of 35, 36, 37. That's how old they are. So you don't expect they'd be able to hold on that long. Anyhow, that's done. Tamim Iqbal's not going to be there. It'll be the other three. They'll be trying to ensure, number one, that they put runs on the board for Bangladesh. And can they get through in the top four? Their best chance is because this is in conditions that kind of suit them. I say kind of because it's not on every pitch in India that you're going to get a whole lot of turn. You've seen that at home in Bangladesh. They've prepared pitches that have turned. They've done okay in the Asia Cup. Do they have the tools is always the question. And with those four players that I mentioned, they were the great hopes, weren't they? Because they could put runs on the board. They had garnered sufficient experience over time to really trouble bigger opposition, more established opposition, were they all to fire. This time around, well, yeah, Shakib's going to have to do a big job in captaining the side. He's going to have to get runs and he's going to have to bowl really well with his left arm spin. Are they covered in the left arm spin department? There's another left arm spin, a slow left arm in Nasum Ahmed. Younger guy, of course. Will he play? Won't he? Will they go with one? Will they go with two? They also have off spin in the Hassans. Mehdi Hassan Miraj and Shek, is it? Mahdi Hassan. Both are off spinners and as sort of all-rounders, can bat a bit. Obviously slightly different in the way they go about their off spin. That too is a question, and whether they'll pick both of those in the side or they won't. In the fast bowling department, the expectation is that Taskin Ahmed bowls it quite quickly. He'll lead the attack along with Mistafizur Rahman, the Fizz. Can he get that ball to swing up at the front? He's got variations galore, decent control, and for a while he'd kind of gone off the boil. Also a bit of injury here and there, but he's a tricky customer, and yeah, against the best of them, he's been really good. So if he can turn it on, it's going to be quite tough to come up against him. Then in the SEMA stakes, Shariful Islam, do they go with him? Tall guy, 6'3", or do they go with the youngster? There's a youngster by the name of Hassan Mahmoud, and he bowls decent Yorkers, decent enough pace as well. Kind of maybe an experience in youth scenario as they try to get, because they need some backup at the back end of the innings. He bowls Yorkers and can do that at the back end. For one so young, maybe not, don't know. And then can they put the runs on the board? Mushfiqur Rahim, important. Najmul Hussain Santo, he's vice captain, and he's got to make sure he scored runs. Taskin Hassan's a youngster, left-handed opener. I say youngster, new to the side really, and he looks like he might be the guy who's kind of been preferred ahead of Tamim Iqbal. Litton Das, class player. He's got to get runs for them. If he doesn't, that's a bit of a problem. And of course, Mahmadullah Riyad. Can he get runs? Yeah, it's a big question. Won 3 games last time in 2019 and turned over South Africa. I remember that game particularly. Turned over South Africa. I think it was in chasing 330, was it? I remember how did they put up 330 in South Africa? Failed to chase it. But conditions suiting that little bit more, and their expectation is that they'll do decently. Can they win more than 3 games? That's the question, and that's what they're after here. Of course, they're trying to get into the semis and to try and win it. Not sure they can go as far as that. One to watch, I guess. And a last hurrah, as I say, for Shakib Al Hasan, for Mushfiqur Rahim, as well as for Mahmadullah Riyad.